So at this point, when you're starting to work on those album covers, the very first thing you want to do is you want to find a good quality image of that album cover. So in order to find a really good quality image, you can't just do a simple search. You're going to need to go to your tools and check for a good size image. You can do a large size image, and I think that would be just fine. So we're going to go ahead and start with one of these large size images. And let's say you happen to be doing Beatles Abbey Road. So let's say that that one happens to be what you are choosing for your particular piece. What I would do at this stage is I would right click and I would go ahead and save image as. Let's go ahead and save it as, I'll just save it as Beatles in my pictures. As soon as that's done, I'm going to go ahead over to Photoshop and I'm going to file open that Photoshop. So when I go in there, I should be very close up to the top because it was a B. Oh, I missed it. There we are. And I'm going to say open. So at this stage, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see it better. At this stage, I've got that picture and that picture is ready and here. But I need to, let's say, add on to this canvas. I need to make more room for my image to come into this piece. So I need to start off with finding out what my image size is. So I'm going to go up to image size, and I see that it's about a 4 by 4 inch image. I could bring that up a little bit. If it's smaller than 4 by 4, I would really try to find an image that's larger. Okay? But in this case, I'm just going to say it's 4 by 4. For all intents and purposes, it's 4 by 4. I could bring it up a little bit so it's more like 6 by 6. But you don't want to bring it up much more than a couple of inches in any way because you don't want the quality to suffer. Okay? So I just made the picture bigger, but I did not add any extra space on here. That's what I need to figure out right now. Perhaps I've got something up here. Maybe it's a hot air balloon that I added up in the air. Maybe it's over here where I have an additional part of the street. Maybe there's a car facing him or a crossing guard with a stop sign. Whatever it may be, I need to figure out where that extra space needs to go. So that is done by coming into image and canvas size. When I go into canvas size, it doesn't change the size of my image. So it's like you did a drawing, but you gave yourself more paper. You didn't enlarge the drawing, I just added onto the paper, and that's what we're doing right now. So right now we can see it's about 6 by, almost 6, so we're just going to call it a 6 by 6 to make it easy. And I have where I need to move this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, say it's going to go on the right hand side, I'm going to go ahead and double that. So 6 times 2 is 12. This dot is symbolic of the picture. So because this is centered, if I say okay, I'm going to get 6 inches on both sides because that dot is centered. Going back into there, if I move that to 12 and I move this dot over here and I click on there and it moves it over, notice I have this on canvas extension color of white. You can change that. It just seems easiest to leave it on white for right now because you're going to put a picture in there. So I would really keep that on white. You could put black if you needed to just pop a little part of a picture, but usually white is easier because it'll show more contrast where your edges are. So if I move that dot over and I say okay, it has put all 12 of those inches on the left hand side. Okay? If you're wondering why it keeps disappearing, I'm pressing Control Z to undo it. If I put it up here and I move that to 12, I'm going to get it equally on both sides and nothing on the top or the bottom, even though I move that over, because I didn't add to the top or the bottom size. I would need to change my height. So I would change this to 12 and move it here, and it would give me all 12 of my inches, or I should say all 6 of my inches, sorry about that, added onto the bottom. So hopefully that'll help you figure out how you're going to extend your canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and image, canvas size, I'm going to move my dot over here so all of the weight goes over here, and I only want to put it on the width. So I've added my size right there, okay? So you're going to go ahead and make sure that your extension picture, what you're doing outside the canvas, is saved to your computer. So make sure you save that to your pictures or downloaded it from your Google Drive. You're going to place, and then we're going to go ahead and place linked, and you're going to find where that picture is. Now, let's just put Alan B. Shepard in there. There we go. We're going to put Alan B. Shepard in there. It's not going to make much sense, but I don't have an extension picture to do the demo on. And I'm going to say place. Okay? So as of this point in time, it'll have a big X through it. And what you want to do is you just want to move that into place, and you want to right now hold your shift key and then size it to what it is you need size-wise. Okay? So I'm going to size this a little bit bigger. And then when you're done, you're going to press the Enter key, and that's what's going to accept it. At this stage, I would like you to do something called rasterize. And when you rasterize the layer, you make that layer editable. And it's as simple as coming over here, right-click over here in this little dark space underneath the title or above the title of that layer. And you're going to go ahead and tell it rasterize. And you're going to do that because you see this little guy right here? That is a link. It won't allow you to do certain things to that image until you make it what's called editable. If it's not editable, you're going to have a problem. We need to be able to edit this, okay? So what I'm going to do is, again, right-click right over here and rasterize layer. It is now editable. You can see that little link is gone. It's a regular picture, okay? At this stage, you're going to do what you need to do with it, whether it be changing your image adjustments levels, your hue saturation. Perhaps some of these others will be very helpful. Maybe you need something that's a little bit more pop art looking and you want to posterize it, you know, where you've got those sort of sections. Maybe that would help someone in their matching. But I would like for you to start seeking me out for some help in how to make yours look most accurately like the one that you have from the original. For example, I could show you a little bit more about picking a color, using your eyedropper to pick a specific color so that you can have a background that matches of that color. I could show you how to apply, maybe in your levels, how to pop some of the values to make it look similar to the previous one, or how to make something a little bit more of a dull color, etc. So those are all things I need you guys to be working on. I will go ahead and upload this video so that you guys get a chance to work on that and take a look at this. But again, that's how you extend your canvas and give yourself more room to work so that you're able to add on.